The Middle East is on fire again, this time in a way the world hasn't seen since the Iran-Iraq War. On Friday, Israel launched a series of massive, coordinated strikes against sensitive Iranian military and nuclear facilities. The scale of the attack was staggering. Analysts say it is the largest assault on Iran in over 3 decades. Iran didn't hesitate. Within hours, it fired back. Missiles struck Israeli cities, including Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, hitting both government buildings and residential areas. The war drums are beating, and the region stands on the edge of something far more dangerous than a tit-for-tat conflict. But why now? The timing of Israel's attack wasn't random. It came just as nuclear negotiations between Iran and the United States were reaching a critical point. A recent report by the International Atomic Energy Agency revealed that Iran now holds nearly 400 kilograms of uranium enriched to 60% purity. If that number hits 90%, it could be enough to build up to 10 nuclear weapons. The very next day, the IAEA formally accused Iran of violating its non-proliferation obligations for the first time in 2 decades. Washington reacted strongly. The U.S. refused to allow Iran any right to enrich uranium, even for civilian purposes. And yet, under the 2015 nuclear deal, known as the JCPOA, Iran had previously agreed to cap its enrichment at 3.67%. That deal collapsed when President Donald Trump walked away from it in 2018. Now back in office, Trump is doubling down on pressure. He reportedly urged Israel not to strike Iran until he believed a deal was within reach. But once the missiles started flying, his tone changed. He praised the strikes as excellent and warned Iran to accept a deal before there is nothing left. So how's Iran's responding? Total suspension of negotiations with the United States of America, Tehran, announced it would skip the 6th round of talks. And behind closed doors, officials are reportedly considering a radical shift, abandoning their promise not to pursue a nuclear weapon, if only as a form of deterrence. To Iran's leaders, surrendering now is unthinkable. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei has declared uranium enrichment a red line. Accepting Trump's terms, in their view, would be the first step toward regime collapse, not peace. And here's the real danger. Iran is running out of options. Its leaders fear that appearing weak could ignite a backlash at home and embolden enemies abroad. So they've chosen to project strength. That means more missile strikes, more confrontational rhetoric, and fewer diplomatic overtures. But that choice carries massive risks, not just for Iran and Israel, but for the entire region. Iran's influence extends far beyond its borders. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Iranian-backed militias in Iraq, and the Houthis in Yemen are all watching closely. If they mobilize in support of Tehran, we could see conflict spread from Gaza to the Red Sea, from Baghdad to Beirut. Gulf nations like Saudi Arabia and the UAE are also in a precarious position. They've recently entered into delicate economic partnerships with both the US and China. Any prolonged conflict could send oil prices soaring and destabilize regional trade, something these countries are desperate to avoid. And then there's the United States. While Trump may want to stay out of another war, the political cost of an Israeli defeat or major casualty event could force his hand. A single strike on U.S. assets in the region, accidental or intentional, could drag Washington into the conflict. All of this points to one thing. This isn't just about Iran or Israel anymore. It's about a fragile region teetering on the edge, with global powers standing close by, ready or perhaps unwilling to act. Iran is betting that it can survive this storm, strike hard, and return to the negotiating table stronger. But history tells us that wars have a way of spiraling far beyond anyone's intentions. As the missiles fall and diplomacy burns, the world is left asking, is there still time to pull back? Or has the next major Middle East war already begun? The world is watching this crisis unfold. Subscribe now and stay ahead of the global headlines that matter most.